Welcome to I Am Care, I Create. Today we're going to be doing a tarot card reading with the Thoth deck for Virgo, for the 2020 year overview. But before we begin, let's do a meditation or mantra. Thank you, angels. Beloved you are, blessed you are. When one becomes two, what will you do? What is what is everlasting abundance, unity, and connection, perfection. 11:11, the mirror. I love God, and God loves you. Thank you, angels. We ask that we can resonate at Christ consciousness from the higher self to our thoughts and our mind's eye, to the voice in our throat chakra, and our heart and all the desires and emotions resonate in the Christ consciousness. What we dream to create in our solar plexus and in our sacral center, what we crave, and manifest this all through our root chakra and bring forth Christ consciousness, a light of discernment on every aspect of our lives. Thank you, angels. Beloved you are, blessed you are. Amen. Now, before we get into the reading for Virgo 2020 yearly, let's check out some info about Virgo to really center all the energies into the cards and the reading. So if you were born August 23rd to September 22nd, your sun sign is Virgo, and we're all made up of many different signs, a list of 12 or more if you have your full chart. Usually the first sign is the most dominant and reflects you the best. The element of Virgo is earth. The quality is mutable. The color, gray, beige, pale yellow. The day, Wednesday. Ruler, Mercury. Greatest overall compatibility, Pisces and Cancer. Lucky numbers: 5, 14, 15, 23, and 32. Let's look at some of the traits of Virgo. The strength are loyalty, analytics, kind, working hard, hardworking, and practical. Weaknesses: shy, worry, overly critical of self and others, all work and no play. Virgo likes animals, healthy food, books, nature, cleanliness. Virgo dislikes rudeness, asking for help, taking center stage. Virgos are always paying attention to the smallest detail, and their deep sense of humanity makes them one of the most careful signs of the zodiac. Their methodical approach to life ensures that nothing is left to chance, and although they are often tender, their hearts might be closed for the outer world. This is a sign often misunderstood, not because they lack the ability to express, but because they won't accept their feelings as valid. true, or even relevant when opposed to reason. The symbolism behind the name speaks well of their nature, both with the feeling they are experiencing everything for the first time. Virgo is an earth sign, fitting perfectly between Taurus and Capricorn. This will lead to a strong character, but one that prefers conservative, well-organized things and a lot of practicality in their everyday life. These individuals have an organized life, and even when they let go of chaos, their goals and dreams still have strictly defined borders in their mind, constantly worried that they missed a detail that will be impossible to fix. They can get stuck in details, becoming overly critical and concerned about matters that nobody else seems to care much about. Since Mercury is the ruling planet of this sign, its representatives have a well-developed sense of speech and writing, as well as all other forms of communication. Many Virgos may choose to pursue a career as writers, journalists, and typists, but their needs to serve others make them feel good as caregivers on a clear mission to help. Virgo, the disappointed goddess, seeking goodness in humankind, is the story of Virgo, and disappointment seems to be inevitable from the point of view. The first time they came from their cloud and jumped onto planet Earth, it felt like their mission is to use their existence for good, discovering ways to justice and purity in other people. Once they fail to find it, too many times Virgos will pull away, get lost, turn to substance abuse, or simply separate from other people to sit on a bench, criticize, and judge. Now that we've done an overview of the energy of Virgo, we can get to the cards. Angels, please imbue these cards with a reading for Virgo 2020, a yearly overview, with the past as the beginning of the year. The present as the middle of the year, and the future as the end of the year. And we'll touch each and every card, make sure they're all there, and make sure they're all upside right. So if one does come out upside down, we know it's intentional, to look at the negative aspects. Now the cards are all sticky. Now shuffle while we wait for our first card to pop out. Usually some of the cards will be slipperier than others. And do things like that. Oh, we have abundance. There's Cancer and Mars. Mercury. One day my brain will know. One day. I think that's Mercury. Gain in the beginning of the year in the heart. So you're feeling like you've gained a lot. And change change at the end of the year for Virgo in the heart space. Well, that one was about to jump. Completion is manifested in the middle of the year for Virgo. Oh, material things, a whole gamut of material aspects, which the material is an aspect of spirituality, is on the mind of the higher self in the beginning of the year. And that comes along with the heart feeling gain, the beginning of the year. And we have work. Work is on the mind, the end of the year, 2020. Reflection is being manifested in the beginning of the year. Self-reflection and a dominant stance from a feminine perspective is being taken at the end of the year. Something within someone's, oh, I'm not supposed to be shoveling anymore. Oh, I guess I'm taking those two cards. No, I was meant to, yeah. That was interesting. We have the Prince of Wands on top of the Hermit as the heart of the reading. Let's see if I can make sure all the cards are visible and in the circle of life. So, here we go. At the beginning of the year, we're looking at mental space is on the manifested feats of oneself. The heart is feeling in a place of gain and accomplishment and manifesting, reflecting, a clear reflecting of the inner and the outer with the Queen of Cups. So if you're feeling gain and thinking about your physical aspects, you're mirroring these clearly in the beginning of the year. In the heart center of the reading, in the middle of the year, and the overall is manifesting with passion and creativity from a place of self-reflection and maybe isolation. The higher mind is on abundance, so you're looking at everything that you have and in a positive light, and feeling, and manifesting completion in the middle of the year. And in the end of the year, your mind is on work and works that you're constantly thinking about. And change is on the heart. So you have a desire, you have a new desire, and your focus is changing on the new desire. And there may be a lot of feeling that you want to change, or you want something to change, and you're manifesting almost a dominance or a stubbornness. whether this you're standing your ground that you want to change this in the end of the year, or something is you want to change, but there's something that's being stubborn around you wanting to. But I don't see it that way, because it looks like you're working, your mind's on work, your heart's on change, and this is a strong card of you willfully successfully changing what you're in line to at the end of the year. So we have manifesting reflection in the beginning of the year of your internal completion in the middle of the year, and taking a firm stand on something you want to change at the end of the year. Overall, you have a very, very productive year, a very smooth year. It looks like this. When you see the Hermit card, it's usually withdrawal and self-reflection, and that comes inspiration and deeper understanding of oneself. So don't be afraid if you feel the need to really pull away from a social group, or just think more seriously about some deep aspects or emotions that you're feeling in yourself, because this will lead to your creation and your a clear reflection and completion of whatever you're looking at in the middle of the year. It may even be why you're more focused on work and changing something at the end of the year, because of what you expose of yourself in the middle of the year. So let's look at some reflections of the cards and how they're laid out. The Ace of Discs, the material, is reflecting work, and they're both discs, and they're both material aspect oriented. This one rules all of them, all of the discs, all of the disc cards reside in this card. So there's definitely a strong mirroring, and it's overabundance. So when you're thinking about your desires, and you're working on your desires, it makes sense that abundance would be right in the middle of that. Here we have gain and change. You have gain in the beginning of the year. You have change. A lot of times when you gain something in your heart space, you feel full in your heart space, that creates a space for new desires to grow, and then from the new desires, in the new understanding, you'll desire a change to become more in line with those feelings. So that makes a very good mirror too of self. Here we have the Queen of Cups mirrored with the Queen of Wands. So they're both feminine energy. This is an energy of deep inner reflection and mirroring of what's on the inside is on the outside, and you can really see that in this card. There's the mirror line, and then the reflection back of the Queen. She's behind all these lines. That's interesting. It's like the lines in the water are reflected in her space. So I'm almost like this is what's manifest. This is the inner. This water is the inner reflection, and this is the outer world of what you see. And these lines are some emotional congruence, and they're being manifested on the outside. And that's mirroring almost the complete opposite energy. Well, except for it's still feminine energy of a dominant stance, and almost a more rulership. Like this is me. I'm standing here. To the mirror itself or other people's reflections, and there's a shining light coming out of her crown, and this is over completion. So deep inner reflection and manifestation of what's on the inside, um, and then standing the ground who you are, what you're feeling you need, over the reflective point of completion. So a very whole, solid year. Um, there's still, and I find a common thread in all these. In the middle of the year is some looking in the side of self, finding a new emotional energy or desire, and then having to struggle or strive through change. But there doesn't look like there's very much struggle at all in this year. It looks like it's a quick decision. Um, we can mirror work to the Queen of Wands over change. This is in the end of the year. Well, you put in the work on yourself, so you're standing there very strongly, and it's definitely a change from your previous outlook. There's a change in the end of the year, and you're standing in a different position. And that position could be manifested as the way you think about yourself, or a relationship position, or maybe you're taking the more feminine role in the relationship compared to before being the more masculine, or vice versa, or in a work relationship could be in a different position. And then completion from abundance over the mirroring of creativity. So your mindset is creation and abundance, and that's one of my part of the mantra, abundance. We see if we have the mindset of scarcity, then we're putting a negative look on what surrounds us, when the truth is that everything that is abundance, from the smallest little thing to eternity. And so if we have any other outlook, it's part of a learning process that we have to go through to learn more about self and our own reflection, to get to the point where we recognize again that it's abundance. And from that, with completion, which is a wands, 4 of wands, and the ace of discs to the Queen of Cups over gain. I think we already did a little bit of this in the beginning of the year, thinking about what you want to manifest, being in a heart space of gain, reflecting what's from the inside, which creates more, or the perception that we have more, and vice versa. If you're reflecting clearly from a place of looking at gain and feeling gain and thinking about objects, you're going to be creating more material aspects of yourself. And we can do cross work, manifesting Queen of Cups from the higher mind work. Usually I like to move towards the future, but the future and the past, we only really have the present, and it's all our perspective in the present that changes our vibrational frequency to see more or less, or create or destroy. And we have the Queen and works, which reflecting and takes work to to reflect. And then we have the Queen of Wands to the Ace of Discs to the Queen of Wands. The material is the most fixed point and the most dominant when we have our personal perspective. From our perspective, it's the most solid. It's all a spiritual aspect of everything, but it's the most solid. So that makes a good mirror too. So again, the whole overview is passionate creativity, somewhat of a artsy flair, and crossed over the hermit, which is self-reflection, shining a light on unconsciousness and understanding it more deeply, and bringing it into the conscious aspect of ourselves. So I think I'm going to end that reading there for the yearly for Vergo for 2020. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope this helped you in some way. If any messages popped into your head while you were saying that, it might be a message from your higher self you can listen to. Thank you very much.